Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Ryan Wazir and I'm student of Callannie School Islamabad Foundation Hostel. So today my call any topic. So my topic is uh, wood word. Okay, so today my topic is wood, the backbone of early civilization.
Wood, huh? That's a dope angle. It really is the OG building block. Where do you want to start with this?
Yes, my topic is wood, the backbone of early civilization.
Got it. You're locked in on wood, the backbone of early civilization. It's wild when you think about it.
Okay,
Everything from
what
the
is
first
wood and
shelters
why
to the
was wood important
ships
in
that
early
mapped the world
civilization?
started with trees. Wood, at its simplest, wood is just the structural tissue of trees, cellulose and lignin that basically act like nature's concrete.
Okay.
As for why
How
it was
did
so
early
huge,
humans
for
use wood and what are the main properties of wood?
early humans used wood for pretty much everything: building shelters, crafting tools like spears and bows, and of course, keeping the fire going for warmth and cooking.
Okay, so
Wood
next
to hold up a
question.
roof, but flexible enough to carve into a bowl.
Why is wood called the backbone of early civilization?
Because without it, the whole structure of early society just wouldn't have stood up. Think about it. Before we had steel or concrete, wood was the only thing that let humans build vertically or move across oceans. It was the foundation for everything from the smallest hut to the biggest
How
empire.
did
Does that make sense, or you want to dive into a specific
how
example?
did wood help humans survive and what tools were made from?
Women were right there in the mix, using wood for the essentials of daily survival. They'd use it to build those early hearths and storage bins to keep food safe, and
Okay.
they crafted a ton of the household tools, things like
Next
weaving looms
question.
for clothes and bowls or spoons for eating.
What tools were made
Basically, if it was a
from
tool that
wood
made,
and how was wood used to build shelters?
I'm guessing you're asking how wood was actually used to build things back then. It was all about the joints and the fit. Early builders didn't have the hardware we have now, so they got really creative with things like notches and pegs to lock massive logs together. That's how they got those sturdy longhouses and forts.
How did wood
You want to know about the
help in
specific?
making weapons and why was wood important for cooking?
For weapons, wood was the game changer because it gave humans reach and power. Think about a spear or a bow. You're basically using wood to throw a point or a projectile from a distance, which kept humans a lot safer during a hunt. And for
Okay,
cooking, wood was everything because it was the primary fuel for fire. No wood, no fire, no cooked food, which honestly is a huge part of how our brains even evolved. You want to
okay.
hear about how different types of wood were picked for different jobs?
Why was wood important for cooking and how did firewood change human life?
So, the big deal with wood and cooking was all about the energy. It worked as the perfect fuel because it burned steady and hot enough to transform raw food into something easier to digest. That
Okay,
change in the home was massive. The fire became the center of the house, a spot for people to actually hang out and bond while they waited for dinner. It
okay.
basically turned the shelter into a home.
What
You know what
role
I'm saying?
did wood play in agriculture and how were wooden farming tools made?
Wood was the wood was the real MVP for early farming. Before metal tools took over, everything was wood. They carved out early plows to break the soil and built fences to keep animals from wandering off,
Okay. How did
even
wood
irrigation
help in
systems
transportation
in
and
some
why
places
were boats made from wood?
started with wood.
Hello. How did wood help in
People could
transportation
cut it to
and
size, lift it.
were boats made from wood?
For transportation, wood was basically the only way to move big things over long distances. It gave us wheels for carts and, more importantly, the hulls for ships. Once humans figured out how to float massive logs and shape them into boats, the whole world opened up. As for boards, they were made from wood because it's an anisotropic material, meaning it has a grain. By slicing a log along that grain, you get a flat, stable surface that's way stronger and more versatile than a round log. It's what allowed people to build floors, walls, and furniture. Very cool, right?
How did wooden wheels change civilization, and what type of trees provided useful wood?
Wooden wheels were a total paradigm shift. Suddenly, you aren't just carrying things on your back, you're moving tons of cargo, food, and people across land. It essentially shrunk the world by making trade and travel way faster and more efficient. As for the trees, it really depended on the job.
Okay,
Oak was the go to for stuff
the
that
main
needed to be rock
question
solid,
is
like
what is the difference between hardwood and softwood?
it sounds like a fancy distinction, but it's actually not about how hard the wood is. It's all about the seeds. Hardwoods come from deciduous trees, the ones that lose their leaves in the fall, and they usually have enclosed seeds like acorns. Softwoods
Okay,
come from conifers like pines and firs, which have naked seeds and cones.
okay.
Some softwoods are actually harder than some
How
hardwoods,
was
which is kind of a trip.
how was wood used in ancient furniture, and why was wood important for trade?
For furniture, wood was the first way humans actually started designing for comfort. They moved from just sitting on the ground to carving out benches, tables, and chests. It let people organize their lives and create a sense of status. Like if you had a finely carved wooden chair, you were definitely the person in charge.
Okay.
As for trade,
Why
wood
was
was basically
how did wood contribute to the growth of cities, and what role did wood play in construction?
wood was the secret sauce for city growth because it allowed for rapid expansion. If you wanted to build a city fast, you didn't wait for a quarry to cut stone, you just looked at the forest nearby. It let people build housing and warehouses in a fraction of the time, which meant cities could swell in population way quicker. In construction, it was all about the framing, using wooden beams to create the skeleton of a building so you could fill in the gaps with mud, straw, or brick. Gave cities their first real structure.
Okay.
Want to know
Thank you
why
so
that
much
actually
for
made
your
early
time.
cities kind of a death trap?
Thank you.